In this video, I am gonna be using a complete cheap camera that I've never used before because I've keep getting a lot of DMs about what's a good beginner camera. So I decided to go to my dad's room and open a complete cheap camera that you can't change lenses, doesn't shoot in RAW, doesn't have much megapixel. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to prove to you that you can take good photos with a shit camera. Anyways, I'll stop talking. Let's get into it. Alright, so I'm at the waterfall. First thing, I'm gonna do like a long exposure right now. So I put it in like 2 seconds, put a manual focus, and then I'm going to take some photos. Alright, first photo done. Anyways, let's move to the next location. Alright, so I'm in the city, I'm going to do some panning shot with this bad boy. Let's see how many good shots I can get, alright? It's already hard. It's already fucking hard doing it. Can't even adjust the focus on this. Fucking shit. I'm already failing that. It's not hard enough what it would be. I'm gonna manual focus. Let's see. This is fucking hard, bro. It's not fucking easy. No, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get this bicycle guy. Fucking hell. Alright, I've got some good panning shots and all that. I think I've got some decent, hopefully it's good. Anyways, let's move on to the next location. So I'm gonna ask someone to model. I'm just gonna do some portraits, see how this camera turns out. So I'm just gonna... I just took a few quick photos of someone. Now let's move on to the next location. Doing some long exposures. Let's go. Alright, so I'm at the next location. I'm going to try to do a few long exposures, a few light trails, and yeah, see how the camera turns in low light. So let's get into it. So I just done a quick few photos. I've just finished doing some long exposures. So right now I'm just going to start heading home. I'm going to start editing the photos. So I'm going to see how they turn out. So see you then. Alright, so I just did a quick edit on the photos. Anyways, let me reveal the first photo. So the first photo I took was this boulder photo. So this long exposure photo and all of that. And I was really happy how I was able to take this photo. Like, this is a fucking banger, bro. Like, people would not know it's shot in a $200 camera. And this was shot in JPEG. Like, fuck, look at this. So that's the first photo I took. You know, I managed to do a long exposure. I did a long exposure of like, I think like 2 seconds. And I think I shot this like pretty much early in the morning. So the lighting was good enough. Like, it wasn't like, you can tell the highlights weren't as blown out. Obviously when you're editing JPEG, you don't want to over edit, because if you over edit your photos in JPEG, then it's gonna lose a bunch of data and detail to the photo. So now I'm gonna review the night photos. So I'm gonna review the panning shots. Well, I only took one good panning shot. So I took this one, which it's not too bad and all of that. Like, if you look closely, you can see a bit of lost detail in the photo. Like, I didn't know how I was gonna edit this photo, and you can tell it's very grainy because I have to bump up the ISO. And like, the reason why I was showing with the panning shots, because I couldn't use continue autofocus, so I had to like use manual focus and try to freaking manual focus onto the car actually. So it was actually a lot harder. So I was actually really happy with this photo. It's not a bad photo. And then here's some of the portrait. The portrait photos I took was this one. This one's really good. I was really happy how this photo, which I just asked some sort of stranger and took a photo. And like, I was trying to focus on the composition. You can tell I did a bit of, you know, I did a bit of photoshopping. Like, I didn't want to over edit the photos and all of that. So this one I was really happy with. And then this is some tram shots. This one's not too bad. It's just, I think the composition is a bit all over the place and all. And then the final shot I took with the long exposure light trails was this one. So this is how this one turned out. So yeah, I was pretty happy with this one. But as you can tell, it's a bit of glare when you do the lights, you know. But pretty happy with this photo, you know. It's a cool long exposure. I think I did a long exposure, like a long exposure of 10 seconds for this photo. And I was pretty happy with this photo. So all these photos were actually all shot in JPEG because I couldn't shot in RAW. So yeah, and
overall is, do you need a good camera when taking photos? No, but over time, if you're a professional photographer, well, yes, you should having a good camera is important, but I think when you're starting as a photographer, you need to understand the basics. Now, it's not really about the gear you have, it's all about the photography in the end. Like, the reason why I was able to take some of these photos somewhat good is I know how a camera works. I understand like the basics of it, how a camera, like shutter speed, ISO, aperture, and I understand like the composition I was going for. So I kind of knew what I was going for in this photo, and I kind of winged it, you know. It was obviously a lot harder because like, you know, I couldn't I couldn't zoom in lens and I couldn't change lenses, so I just have to go with whatever I have. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts on the photos, and yeah, like I'm really happy how I was able to take this photo really good. So yeah, if you like this type of video, consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more of this type of content, and yeah, see ya, bye.